customers are using the data science agent to get more insight of their data. I'm going to go through one of the threads. So if you look at it, so this is one of the threads that when customer is probing the data that's coming out of NetSuite. So if you look here, you can see this is a data set of their journal entries, which is, like I was saying, once it gets through the ingestion layer, it goes through all the layers to become the golden layer. So this, if you look at this journal entry data, you can see these are transactions coming out of NetSuite, all the financial accounts, the number of when was the transaction happened, the amount, and this kind of things. So if I'm taking this data set as the data that I want to do our data science agent to work on. So first we can the thing about this is we can start if you know your question specifically, you can go ahead and ask. But if you are not sure, if you just simply want to probe the data, you can start at the high level. So for example, here the user is asking, show me the gross margin over last 6 months. So the agent replied asking some clarification. So it's saying that, okay, are these assumptions correct? Meaning okay, I want to look at the revenue in this range of accounts, and I want to look at the cost of goods sold in this range of accounts. Is it the correct assumption? So once it got the clarification from the user, so it kind of gave a plan. So at any point, if you want to look at the internal processing or how the agent is thinking and doing the processes behind the scene, you can always look at Toggle and look at the internal processing and how the agent is thinking through tools and agent calls or LLM calls on the side panel. So here it's doing the planning and telling you what it's going to do in order to answer the question that you were asking. So it's saying okay, you were asking about the gross margin in the last 6 months. I'm going to, and this is a formula I'm going to apply: total revenue minus the total cost of goods sold. Okay, so the user further confirms, okay, that sounds good. Show me, do the broken down by month and show me in a bar chart. So it goes ahead and do all the analysis. And you can all this time, you can actually look here when it gives the answer, the thinking process of the agent. So here it generated some code, Python code that actually was doing analysis on the data set. And it gave a monthly result of all the revenues and the COGS and the gross margin broken down by month. Okay, so it gave some more insights okay, what was the formula was used and some additional metrics. For example, it calculated the margin rate. So what formula did it use and what is the insight? And also gave some key numbers, what was the highest revenue, what was the lowest revenue, and so on and so forth. So the good thing about it is you can keep drilling down. So it's actually giving the next step, what you can ask next. So, okay, so you can actually identify the product lines and the customer segments that are driving the peak in August. So, okay, and it at the same time, it's also giving you some charts that you can visually look into and explore. This is an interactive chart. You can just go and see all the numbers here. So next, okay. Next question the user is asking, okay, so can you tell me the variance of what's causing the data to kind of the margin to go up and down? So it's doing some analysis, but maybe I don't want to go through all these numbers. I can just say oh, you know what? Give me the information in a visual way. So what it's doing is now it's taking the same information and it's plotting. It's giving some of these details, and finally it did a plotting of what are the drivers of the gross margin, the revenue, and the COGS changes. So here actually you can see the revenue is high in May, but you can see these spikes for COGS, meaning this October and the May, their cost of cost of producing the software or the or the product went actually high. So you probably want to like dig deeper into these spikes. So your next question you can ask, okay, can you actually identify the product lines or the customer segments that driving this variance? So it actually now going and looking into a little bit, drilling down into like more on the granular level. So now it's actually did the analysis and it's saying like, okay, these are actually the product line that's contributing to the increasing gross margin. And these are the top 5 products that's actually reducing the gross margin. So these are the reasons why your gross margin is lower or higher.